Good evening, everybody, and I'm going to call our special meeting and committee as a whole meeting to order. Would you please take the roll?
Councilmember Dittrich.
Here.
Councilmember Pointer.
Here.
Councilmember Hamel. Here. Councilmember Gray.
Here.
Councilmember Sherburne is absent.
Yes. Okay, everybody. We have one meeting agenda item tonight, correct?
Correct.
And it's consider the approval of the following liquor license applications. It's for the Delaware County Fair Society, and that's next week. They need to be able to hold the fair, so I'm just looking for a motion.
Yeah, so they have the liquor license for the whole facility for the year, but for fair, they're required to cancel their year-long license and do a special 14-day license. There's not a 7-day, so they do the 14-day license for the fair event. This allows them to be able to, I think, return any product that might not get
Yes.
used during the fair, you know, if there's raining or if it's not as good a time. So technically, you've already approved a liquor license for them. This is just now approving that 14-day special one.
So moved.
I'll second.
Bill's got it.
Okay, I'll give it to Joe. All right, any other questions on this? Marianne?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
And Diane?
Yes.
All right. Next, committee of a whole, agenda items, and the first one we get to talk about is urban chickens. The draft.
Sorry. So, yep, I have drafts here that I had, Doug Irwin sent me one over that they've done in other places. It was pretty similar to what I had kind of come up with, but there's some highlighted sections in here I kind of want to just run through to see where you guys kind of stood. I know as we kind of work through that first page there's highlighted 1A, property owners that are not zoned or utilized as single family residences or zero lot line duplexes may be permitted to keep chickens upon approval of city council. I know the thought was to kind of not have to have everybody come to you guys, but this would be a little more rare at least, and if not, it's in the way that he had put it together would actually be in the zoning code. So maybe there could be some sort of variance request with that. I have to double check on that, but I didn't know if you guys would be okay with that or if you want to just completely stay out of it if at all possible.
So what would be a scenario?
So somebody that's not zoned or utilized as a single family residence, or they have a zero lot line duplex that wouldn't allow them to meet the proper setbacks, they could come and essentially ask for a more or less a variance on it. But I mean, like I said, I know that's kind of the starting point. This was to not have.
Yeah, because it's not like a separate one. It'd be like if your properties were connected. I mean, who's to say somebody who has an apartment complex, they had them in the back, you know?
Right, well, and that's, yeah, I don't know if that would necessarily qualify. There's some considerations there as far as having like landlord approval, which things like that anyhow. So I would assume most, if you have an actual like an apartment situation, most probably wouldn't allow that, maybe.
And it says the zero lot line duplexes, so like first thing I think of is I got one to the north side of me that does not have the ability to do anything with their lot. They literally sit on.
Right.
The property lines.
So like in that situation, they would have to come to the council for an approval.
Yeah. And then maybe that's, you know, there was a section in there, I think it was 18, there was a note in there about an application, and then, you know, fill that out, and then any consent forms from landlords or owners of adjacent properties. I know we had kind of kicked that around a little bit, but maybe that's kind of the scenario you'd use it in if they meet all the other requirements. Maybe they don't have to have that sign off, but if it was like a zero lot line or something to that effect, then maybe you'd get that, you know, like in Joe's situation, if they're sitting on all lot lines, then they would be okay from their neighbors because they can't meet that. Maybe that'd be more of a scenario that you want that.
That makes sense. All right. So these other ones then, the
Yeah.
wings clipped and.
See, things like that, yeah, I highlighted some of that, wings clipped or having this banded or anything like that. He said a lot of times do that, but I don't know if we need to be
It just
that
seems
involved.
over.
It seems kind of overkill, in my opinion, at least, or what we
Yeah.
can really did want to dedicate to this, you know. There is a provision in there that, when you're given a permit, you kind of waive any right, or we have authorization to check on those chickens at any time, essentially. So if there is any report of any mistreatment or any issues like that, then we can just go back and look at it. So I don't know if you need to have them banded. You can go back there and count how many are in there or whatever. And, you know, I mean, I think maybe the banded things, if they get loose, you know, it's what
Right.
they, you know, it's, they are, but
That would have come in handy, right, Tim?
Has Chief Davis had the opportunity to read this?
he has not probably seen this version of it at least.
I'm just curious as
Yeah,
far
he
as
hasn't
like
had
him
much
being
of
able
a-
to police the situations. Yeah, I mean, it's, we can vote yes or
I
no.
think it'll be, you
Well,
know,
probably more of a zoning thing.
yeah,
Well, that's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's some sort of, incident with the chicken, but it kind of waived us harmless, like, you know, if anything happens to them, the city's not liable for it. You know, the neighbor's dog gets one that's loose, you know, there's
Or they
really not
become
much.
fricassee.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
kind of waives all that, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure some of that stuff at least, and then the permit, like every year getting a new permit, I think it's kind of a one-time. There is I think toward the end, there's a provision that says it's not transferable with the land, or it doesn't carry with you to, you know, your
That's
other
good.
property, so
I
that
like that.
if you move or anything, then you at least have to get it re-upped, and then we can set a fee at that time, it just says fee is established by resolution.
Is there anything in here that if they do get rid of their chickens or something about how long they're supposed to be able to leave their coops up?
I think there was, now that you say that. I think if you're required to take it down, or if you don't, if your permit is denied.
Oh,
revoked,
be
suspended,
10
or
days, the
terminated,
date of the
10
permit
days.
being denied or revoked. Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
So
I think we can strike 21.
what was going on?
Get it taking successfully completing approved class.
Well, there's towns that do that, like you have to take a, like, I think the extension office, I would say extension offers classes for it.
Yeah.
For proper chicken raising, so that was one too, I was like, I don't know if we need to
It's gonna
require that
fully
you've taken
fit.
that, or yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta show up with your certificate. So. So yeah, I think we're all kind of on the same page there, then we can move forward with kind of the items we discussed, or remove some of those. Little more extensive ones, clean this up, make sure Doug reviews it, cleans up.
So what does 16 mean?
Can't kill your chickens in the backyard, essentially, no,
Okay,
no slaughtering them,
in the backyard.
yeah,
I think I'm taking beer class.
front yard's okay.
yeah.
Not within the city limits, okay. Any other questions on this, or what would you like them to do with this?
Nothing tonight, I mean.
Just to review.
Yep, just kind of review it, and I just wanna make sure we're all on the same page, then I can. Tidy it up myself, send it off to Doug, get him to his final look over on it, then we can, I'll bring it to a regular meeting for action.
All right, next, we're gonna be talking about e-bikes and scooters.
So this was another one that should have a pretty eye, you just print it out, this is what our ordinance is currently, but the highlighted sections are what I added in there after. Doug sent me an example of what they've done in other places and just kind of researching other communities. And what we would need to add that other places don't have. We didn't look like there was anything in there for riding them downtown. I know that was a kind of a
Mhm.
rule that we've had. I don't know if it was ever, I didn't see it anywhere in the code, but this would actually institute that for what is described as a quote unquote downtown district, which would be South Franklin between East Marion and Maine, North Franklin between Maine and Butler, West Maine from North River to Franklin, and East Maine from Franklin Brewer. But I mean, we can expand that or add on to it. I didn't know what you guys would normally consider downtown or not, you know, if it extends a couple blocks here or there, but
West Main from North River Street and South Franklin.
That
all
was
down
just
through
a-
Burger King.
yeah, I don't know if we need to go that far, but that was just the next street. You know what I mean?
It's probably wise to go that far though, because of the truck traffic.
It's really dangerous through there.
Yeah, um,
Yeah, it's not so much the pedestrian traffic you worry about down in that area, it's more of the in and out stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. Entry, exit stuff,
And with a guy, as a guy that rides motorcycles, I'll tell you that people in cars don't watch for people on bicycles or motorcycles or any of that, so.
yeah, or especially when you're coming, if you're coming, taking a right hand turn and they kind of creep up on your one, so.
6 kids in the back screaming what they want at Burger King.
Other considerations in there that were common was a double riding, no towing. And just where you can park them, nothing too, and then there was another. Other power driven mobility device in the first definition section there. That kind of, I think, covers beyond just the e-bike and e-scooter. It seems like there's anything you can stand on or sit on can have an electric motor anymore. I mean, it's not see the Segways or the ones that are for unicycle or whatever,
my neighbor has the unicycle.
Yeah, it can be anything. So that way it kind of is a little more of a blanketed situation, that it's not so, again, what's enforceable, or what, are we gonna, the speed limit thing. I mean, there is some towns that have that, but I don't know.
Leaves that.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to, and at the end of the day too, a lot of this, the safety concerns are just everybody looking out for each other too. It's not always just something we can legislate per se, but this at least puts some
Thank you.
broader terms in there, some safety items that kind of clean it up a little bit.
Like a good start.
Yeah, and we can always start with this adjustment moving forward. And if there is anything after you guys look at it a little more, again, I'll send it off to them for his final look over and move it on. Yeah.
All right, economic development project updates.
So just kind of wanted to bring everybody up to speed on the Lincoln School Development Project that's underway. The foundation's poured down there. Looks like, I think they're getting ready to pour the floor, if I'm not mistaken there. And we're working on the development agreement for that. That'll be coming hopefully next Monday at that meeting. Same with the Sailor development. We should be having that development agreement ready for next Monday as well. A newer one that's kind of popped up here is up on, I think we may have discussed it a little bit, but not too far into it, up on the north end of town there. Phil Holtz has some ground, they own the gathering place. And they have that commercial space. They would like to do a development agreement for infrastructure. They seem to be ready to move forward on that before
And it would,
too long, but
it would create 3 to 4.
yeah, there'd be 3 to 4 commercial slots, and there's already one that is ready to go as far as a commercial project,
Okay,
but that wouldn't be done until the infrastructure is installed and there'll be a subdivision, so there'll be some planning and zoning stuff, but with in Aaron and I's meetings and talking through it, I think it'd be a good project. I think we'd recommend its
Okay.
approval. We've been working on that, but just so you guys are aware that that would be going forward for your consideration.
Then XL trailers.
Oh, XL Trailers, yes, they
That's a
also,
new-
that's with their project, they have submitted the TIF application.
okay,
We just got that paperwork the other day, so we're gonna talk with Maggie on that one, with Spear Financial, and work through some of the terms. We're trying to figure out maybe a good estimate for the valuation, so we know what some of that rebate will look like, so yeah, we're early stages on that one.
that's great. Anything else on that? That's it. Okay, we'll keep moving. Wheel loader purchase discussion.
No,
Or South Tama, oh, I checked it off, sorry, thank you. South Tama Street and East Delaware Street intersection.
So this was brought to Jason and I's attention, down South Tama Street in East Delaware. I think it's a stop east-west and then or is it the opposite? Sorry, is it you stop on the north side, and east-west comes through. And when you're stopped, especially in south, coming northbound, when you look to your left, that parking is kind of tight there.
You can't see.
And then there's like a tree there that obstructs your view. So I didn't know what the council's thoughts on that were, if there's any considerations to be made there, or, it was just brought to our attention, so I didn't know where. If you guys have talked about it before, I want to make sure,
Personally, I'd like to see it go to a 4-way stop.
yeah,
Thank you.
I use that road going to and from work every day, and I'm telling you, this summer has been crazy. It's gotten to the point where I almost don't wanna be down through there, cause I've almost gotten hit twice and the other half's almost gotten hit once, so.
Yeah, and I
It's
think you're
getting-
kind of getting close to that downtown type area where you probably get a few more pedestrians and other areas, I mean,
In fact, I think they should put four-way stops all the way through there because they're all racing through there, even on
sure.
Marion Street.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
it's
say
bad
Delaware,
there.
Marion.
Nobody stops there. People blow through that intersection all the time.
There'll be people that'll actually come across Pronos Road on South Brewer and then head down Marion.
Yep.
Cause there's lack of stop signs on that road in that direction, and then they'll come around, the Franklin. Southtown, whatever the building's called now, they come flying around that, shoot across the bridge, you gotta watch for them, or else you're gonna get smacked. Every morning, so it just, I think stop signs all back down and through there would be a good idea.
There'll be some conversations that we'll have to have over there, because there's some trees and there's probably some parking issues. We may actually lose a couple parking stalls over in there, at least one for the visibility coming around the corner.
Yeah, cause they're all the angle parking there. So
Yeah.
you can't see around them at
Yeah.
all. It's terrible.
I think one of those would probably have to go for sure, one of the angle spots.
And then we were talking when we were on the phone that time about maybe going to like maybe compact parking or something in that first
In the
stall.
first stall, yeah, just do like,
Because
yeah,
trucks with toppers that just, or
yeah,
cargo van,
yeah. Yeah, we could maybe have one stall as just a, smaller vehicles or like you said, whatever.
something.
But there'll be some conversations, because there's probably, I know there's a pretty good sized lilac bush or some type of bush that's in front of that place that's probably not gonna survive,
A little bit.
so.
So are we wanting, we'll have to do a resolution for this, so are we wanting for both South Tama East Delaware and South Tama East Marion, or
This is
Start with one.
This-
I'd start with one.
Yeah,
start with going and see
East
how it goes?
Delaware, I think.
See what it does to the next street.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, now we'll talk about the wheel loader purchase.
no, wheel loader, I acquired a quote from Martin Equipment. And, we just have it here, it's basically, we had it budgeted for, they're good with us putting our, loader out for bid. If we want to, price stays the same till the day that we would trade or whatever, kind of like we've normally done with them. One thing, that's something we've never done before. And the way this equipment's changed so much and so computerized, that I've also got the quote for extended warranty.
Oh,
That's it takes it from the powertrain warranty to a comp warranty, which you have to do if we would do the extended anyway. It's $2,800 a year for their max, and that takes care of, it's basically bumper to bumper.
for some reason the price didn't show up on the quote.
Okay,
You got
it's
the
two-
price
yeah.
There,
It was 211,000 or 261,000, 50,000 for the trade, so it comes in at 211,000. But this extended warranty, it was 2,800 and some dollars, and you can pay that annually. Which is basically, I'll just call it, it's basically kind of a bumper to bumper warranty.
Right.
So, that includes, they come out and service it once a year. And that's something that we can pay that yearly and not have to, pay that all up front. But we do have to change that warranty, so it'd be another $3,400 on that to the,
so
to
be
the top.
214,
Yeah,
214.3.
yeah.
Okay,
So we'd have to change that to that warranty to even be able to do the Martin Care.
gotcha.
Gotcha.
I don't know, the higher tech all this stuff's getting, and you have them out, it's nothing to spend. And a service on one of them's $500 or $600 every time we do it, it's with filters.
And
Stuff
even
like
the new
that, so-
stuff has to be looked at, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, and we do this through Sourcewell, they take care of all the government, basically all the government bidding is how we've historically been doing it. We have a good relationship with those guys, and it's stocking parts and all that stuff is good. It's just kind of keeping one piece of equipment.
Right,
So,
Are you looking to upgrade just of the age, or is it
actually starting to nickel
It's-
and dime?
It's starting to need some, yeah, there's a few things that are, I mean, it's age and hours and then, but yeah, there's some things, it's getting some rust and things like that, just from the nature of the beast of being in the salt. And that one's actually the one that we run on the snow blower. So it actually gets all that mist back through it but, yeah, it's got a few bugs, but, and most of its age, it's in the cycle of when when we normally do them, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the council think?
This is budgeted, right?
It's budgeted.
Right? I'm okay that, I'm okay with it.
So it'll just be on the council agenda then on Monday night.
Yeah, that's.
And like I said, we can decide on the extended part of it, yeah,
We talk with Sean.
we'll talk with him a little bit, and
Yeah.
make sure, and he'll be glad to come to next Monday's meeting if anybody has any questions for him on those extended.
So, and a portion is paid from water and from streets, 10%.
There's a street, yeah, there's a little bit from, you know.
So- Sorry, Jason.
Yeah,
We're expecting.
Okay, so that 2830 though, it's every year, for how many years will they let you do that?
72 months.
Just 72
Yeah.
months, it's 6
Yeah.
years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Alley dumpster discussion, but this is probably about Big Mike's.
Yes, so we had kind of been contacted again about the dumpsters at Big Mike's. They want a decision on where they need to get that all set up. And I know when they came to us the first time, they requested that maybe they could put their dumpsters in the alley to the east of their building, but then where it was before was on the south side on the sidewalk. So like I said, they reached out again. We're kind of wanting an answer. So I said, well, Jason and I reached out to Kleesner's and met with them last Thursday morning down there. And they thought the best spot for it would be on the east. You know, the enclosure thing was kind of up in the air of whether to do that and whatnot, but I don't, to me, you'd want one, but they said they could still get in there from the south, and then if they'd probably have to have three, one for trash, one for recycling, and then another one for their grease, so.
Yeah.
That would mean shutting that alley down, right?
Essentially, I mean, you wouldn't really be able to get anything
You wouldn't be
through
able to get
there.
around. Yeah.
If you had dumpsters in there and they could move them, if they needed to be moved, I mean, that would be one thing, but if you put that structure in there, obviously that kind of changes things too, so.
So where does Wes put all of the dumpsters for, I know he's got a bunch of apartments above
Those are
first
just,
two buildings, and then they're gonna be filling 3 more apartments above Big Mike's, right?
yeah, those are just in the alley,
Yeah.
but they're just regular toters, they're not actual. I don't think
Yeah,
they're
they're
dumpsters.
They're
Pushed out against the building.
Yardies,
Yeah.
Those garbage cans that everybody else.
Yeah,
Okay,
Most of them are straight south of F and M side door.
right,
There is two on the back side though, by the
Mhm.
drive through, there is
Right.
two yardies. in
I
there.
thought I
don't know
found
where
it.
those belong,
I
honestly,
don't know
but
either.
They might be to the T and D, I'm not sure.
And so, but I would assume, and maybe I'm wrong, that Wes will probably put another apartment above where the Hughes building is too at some point.
yes.
He is,
He's
yes,
working,
yes. That's what I thought, okay. So it's gonna be more, I
Yeah,
mean,
them, like what everybody else has for a trash can, doesn't seem like it's the most logical use of trash catch. They might wanna go to a dumpster. Well,
Right.
that's on them, that's their decision, not mine, but
Right,
I was just concerned when Brock and I were talking about it one day is, so how is Kleesner's gonna back in there with their trucks? Cause I know what it's like just at our office when they back into it.
Yeah, he'd actually just get it off of Delaware Street, they'd have to spin around and get it out there and get them on the Delaware Street. Yeah.
Right, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to come
So-
down that alley and try to back
No,
up and,
no.
yeah, there's no.
Yeah, we can just barely get through there plowing, so.
Absolutely, and then to try to put a structure around it to make it look nice is almost impossible, because how are they gonna get the stuff out of it, especially if you get snow?
Well, yeah, what they were proposing is their gates would face south, so they just
Oh.
dumpster roll, take it out.
Okay,
One thing he did bring up to Brock and I is, he'd recommend that the grease actually was kind of in a separate spot in there, so that way when they're putting the dumpsters in and out, that it doesn't get knocked around and spilled.
Yeah,
So they'd probably access the grease one from the north side of it, you know,
Right.
so they'd be able to come into that. Cause you'd still be able to get in there to it, you know, from the north side too, but it makes sense, cause otherwise if they're banging them around and then the grease gets spilled and. So,
well, plus, by not putting a covered structure there, should we, when we do a street project, we can open that back up if we have to, because then we'd be able to, or would the grease structure
it could be,
inhibit that?
No, I think.
Prohibit
it could be
that.
a couple of ballards, I think, or something like that, just to keep them from getting hit, you know,
Right.
so. But,
Yeah, that's the big thing, like you said, Brian, is you effectively you would be closing that alley down. I know F and M expressed their concerns, and I think Wes had maybe
And Wes
expressed
has
some
concerns.
concerns.
Well, it's too, but after
But-
looking at it, being down there, you know, I'm not kicking this can down the road, but I would really love to have some type of, how much traffic is really on that street?
Well, right, that's,
You know,
So-
are we talking 10 cars a week? Are we talking?
Since you bring that up, I'm in the middle of collecting some data on finding out how much usage of that alley is being done. I didn't
That
want,
would be nice.
I didn't wanna say anything to anybody other than one other person because of the fact that that way we can control. That way you don't have people being like, oh, they're doing something, let's run down there all day. You know what I mean? And
How are you
use that
getting
alley.
the data?
There's a camera that's been, or is getting placed to make sure that it only catches that alley, that little strip coming through. And just count how many times people are going through.
Cause that would be really nice to have that data,
Right,
so that we could, you know, form a decision whether to shut it down or not. I mean, looking at the alley, I mean, I just drove it the other day and looking at the alley. I've kind of changed my mind where I think, you know, to get a business in there, closing that little alley down is not gonna hurt the town at all.
then,
There'll still be pedestrian access.
Right, well, and bringing
There'd
it down to
still be-
the,
Yeah, there'd still be.
right, and
you know,
bringing it down to the south, I had the opportunity to talk to Aaron after the meeting and, on a different day and go and talk to him and. I told him, I said, you know, when you put that dumpster to the south side there, we're gonna come back to the same stroller issue that I have now when I come down to the car cruise. And I'm not the only one, but it narrows down that sidewalk so much. So going to the east is the only thing that makes any sense. And for the good of the community,
From what I understand, they are actually gonna be expanding into that property where TNB Treasures is now, and TNB is gonna be relocating to the Hughes building. So it'll actually be,
and I hadn't had that confirmed, but I'd heard.
I've heard that.
But it hasn't come from anybody in the know, I guess you'd say.
No, I just know TNB has put it out that they're moving to the Hughes
Okay.
property.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So it's more official now than it was a
Yeah.
week ago.
I'm fairly certain.
I'm fairly certain too, yeah.
I would like to see us allow them to put the dumpsters to the east of the building. Personally,
I'm leaning that way too, so. You know, I thought they could do something to the south, but.
Yeah.
That would really,
it's hard, like you said, if you're walking by, it really shrinks the sidewalk down, and, I mean, if you have a grease dumpster there, I mean, not that.
the other thing I think about too is, let's say that this building or this restaurant's fully operational tomorrow. Just this year alone, you're gonna bring in 2 car cruises, the 2 show and shines. You're gonna bring in your rag bri, you're bringing in the fire convention. And then you're gonna have dumpsters to the south side of a building and the sidewalk. To me, I kind of just don't really think that looks good. So. That's just where I'm at on
As far as the structure goes, I mean,
I think Aaron had a little.
yeah, he had a rendering of it, but I don't know. Yeah, if we might have had
Like
him,
it's gonna be like a removable fence, so a screened in fence that can actually be moved.
Oh, is that what it's gonna be?
Yeah.
That makes more sense, not a fixed one, yeah.
It's designed to be completely removable. It's designed to swing as a gate, or if it needs to be gone, it can be gone.
That's smart.
so it's like a couple pins and a couple wheels, you can wheel that right.
No, that's what the thought process was.
Right, okay. Because there is a very good possibility we might have to utilize that once we start doing the street project, so I was concerned mostly about if it was a fixed fix that couldn't be moved, or they were going to tear it down or something. No,
I can reach back out to them too, to get some confirmation on what that structure will look like for sure, and then we can get a future agenda here soon, so then they can have their marching orders and get done what they need to get
And
done.
then the structure doesn't end up, like, they put it up and it doesn't work, or they have, that's their problem to, you know, snow removal and all trash dumpster
Yeah.
removal and stuff. If it don't work out for them, they can take it down. It's fine. I don't see why that would be a problem.
Great. Okay,
And we, like, when that gets to that point, we can have that discussion with Eric too, of what Austin had told us last week too, about just making sure there's something that to kind of block off the grease. from
Grease,
them.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have put food in there when it was Franklin Street,
Yeah.
there'd already be a,
Yeah,
we'd already had a grease trap there
Yeah.
anyway, probably, so. Okay, library air conditioning unit update. Hello. Allison.
Seems like we struggle with air conditioning units when they need to be used. I put together a whole information page about what we actually have for units. Because I think when I say something's wrong, you guys are like, ah, we did something. Yeah, we have like 6 units or 7 units. So I just kind of broke it down. The west side of the building, we have 2. If you look, I said it says green, but that's because it goes with this map that I have.
Oh,
So you can kind of see the green and blue units are outdoor units that control the wall air conditioner inside. So that's the west side of the building. The north side of the building, we have 5 different units. We have the black unit on the north side controls the 2 registers in the west room where the books are, as well as the children's room. The green unit on the north side controls the registers, the circulation desk area, and the genealogy room. The navy unit on the north side controls the northeast unit inside. And the yellow on the north side controls the meeting room. And there's another little closet that also is in there too. And then the red unit on the north side controls the air for the library director's office. On the south, there's just 1 unit now. I did cross off the one that's not there anymore. The maroon unit on the south side controls the southeast inside unit. There's attic air exchanges as well. There's a green air exchange on the, I believe it's the north side.
mhm.
North side, and that one is, I'm not actually sure what all that goes into that, but I know for sure the circulation desk and the genealogy room are within that. And then the red air exchange supports the red unit, which controls the registers, the director's office, and possibly the navy unit in the northeast room. I'm not for sure on that. Boilers, of course, you know that there's 3 boilers in the boiler room on the northeast wall inside. So repairs since I started in February 2022, the green air exchange in the attic was leaking through the speaker system. And so that was replaced and set up for the director's unit to be replaced on the north side rather than on the south side. So my unit wasn't replaced at that same exact time, but it was prepared to be replaced. The green unit on the north side was replaced right around that time due to failure.
It failed.
The director's unit was replaced due to continual repairs, and the boilers were replaced due to continual repairs again. And everything was just kind of pieced together on that. So I have 3 things down for air conditioning needs in order of importance. The first one, the red unit on the south side is not working. It blew the electrical part on the outside, literally blew fireball. And so that was replaced, and when they replaced it, he turned it back on and it was sizzling. So he turned it off. So that one definitely has to be replaced. It's not working, it's not on, it's warm in that side of the building. But the problem is also, there's the inside unit that's quite old. And there's a coil that needs to be replaced in the inside unit. They're working on trying to find that. It's not something that is around, it is not compatible with new technology. So the coil would just be a Band-Aid if you found one, so that we wouldn't have to replace the inside unit at this second. If no coil is found, the indoor unit will need to be replaced as well. So they're connected to each other, but they would both have to be replaced if we can't find one. The second thing is the blue indoor unit on the north side. If the south side is being replaced, we want to plan for the north to be replaced in the coming year or 2. I do not know the life expectancy of the blue outdoor unit at this time. I didn't ask, what he thought of that. And the blue and green units on the west side, although that we have no records of this, I'm pretty sure the units inside were installed in 1993. I don't know what the units outside, when they were installed or anything, but I know the units inside, they look like they're 1993. So, again, I don't know life expectancy on those either. Currently, everything else seems to be working except for that red unit and the inside unit as well. Let's see, aside from that, what I replaced in 2022, the black is the newest. I do not have a date for when that was put in, but I do have Angie's previous knowledge. She thinks it was towards the end of her time as children's librarian. So that would have been 2020, 2019, somewhere around there. I do feel like the units work until they don't. And then when they don't, I really don't like that feeling because it's kind of chaotic to try to get them replaced. It's a lot of back and forth. So what I'd like to do is have a plan for the future, and that can be something that I talk with Brock about when we talk about our capital improvement plans. For at least the number 2 and 3 on my list of things that we need to get done so we can start talking about what can be done. I'll be talking with Delco Plumbing and Heating as well as city administration to kind of decide, how long things will last in that thing. I know this seems pretty confusing because there's just a lot of pieces together, but it's just everything was pieced together. I think every time we've done a renovation or a addition or something, it's been replaced. And ultimately, at the beginning of the life of that library, there wasn't air conditioning units.
Right.
So I think things were just pieced in there. So I wanted to let you know, I know that is every time when I say, hey, there's something going on with the air conditioning, you're like, what? So now you know, there's a lot of units, there's a lot of things that go together. There's things on the inside and outside that can go wrong. So right now, until I know, right now we're for sure gonna be replacing the red unit outside in the front. And possibly the inside unit if we can't find a coil. If we can find the coil, like I said, it would be a plan that I put in place with Brock to replace it later. But if we can't find the coil, then we'll have to replace that too.
Oil's on the what one again?
It's on the inside southeast. There's like
That's not the 93 model.
nope. It's in the reading room with the puzzles and the newspapers and things like that. Yep. So, and these two on the either side are the same. I mean, their panel is really bad too, but that's why I would need to be planned ahead for sure, but like the panels don't work quite great. The buttons are poked through and they fall into the system and then I have to try to pull them out. So anyway, so I just wanted to let you know it will be coming down sooner than later. I've been in contact. I talked to him last week at the end of the week. He said he's still looking. I will contact him again here probably by Wednesday to find out how long we wait to look for something and then kind of move forward with the project because the other things are working harder because that one's not working. So yeah. Just want to let you guys know when you see that coming down, that's what's going on.
Appreciate that.
Here, I'll say.
Tasha's a teacher.
Yeah, I like the diagrams.
I can tell that you're a teacher and you have very good
No,
diagrams.
it's not mine. Somebody Andy
Somebody-
found it and gave it to me.
Oh,
We-
You should have said that. I was about to
Yeah.
tell the guys to take notes because this is the way it should be.
Yeah, it was on a big piece. I made it into the one little piece by cutting it apart, but.
Alright, flashing traffic light on South Third near the Burrington Road intersection. Is this to do with the expansion out there?
Yeah, so we discussed this a little bit with XL. They had mentioned the possibility of having some sort of controlled flashing lights situation down there. The more we talked with them and we talked with Chad with the DOT, he recommended just to start maybe, keep things a little more cost effective to just have a flashing heavy truck traffic type
Okay.
sign. What was the price on that? It was a couple thousand, but
They were 20. It was less than 6,000 for both.
for both.
Okay.
So, it'd be a little less intrusive, rather than trying to run power to it, so then they could have some sort of remote control thing that they flip on.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, these are just solar, and it'd be, at least to start, I think, at least bring awareness to people, to drivers as they're going through there, to slow down a little bit. And then if it is something we need to look into further down the road, we need to get a little more involved there. I think this would be an effective starting place of,
Right.
and Excel, I made mention that they'd be willing to at least chip in for something like this, so we can kind of talk with them, but as long as you guys are still on board with that, we'll continue to work with them and look forward to get that situation all set up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Flashing yellow, is that what you're?
yeah, flashing yellow, just be a heavy truck traffic. And be up on the north side of the overpass going northbound, and then
Okay,
and when you come out of the curve heading towards Henderson's, somewhere on XL's property, right there at the edge of their property, we do the second one with the going southbound, right?
thanks.
Yeah.
All right, then also a flashing pedestrian crossing signal at West Main near the hospital. Talked about that at a council meeting. I think.
Yep, similar situation there. We talked with Chad with IDOT too, and they did have a reference for that, and I think the total cost on that was
It's around 11,000 for that's
solar.
solar also. Okay. They, basically, it all we'd have to do is put in a permit to the DOT.
Okay.
If the council has an appetite to do this, we'd have to apply to be able to do it. And then take it from there, but.
Right.
So it would be just like what we have up here.
Yeah, and, yeah, those are actually hardwired up there, but these would be solar.
And then it'd be coming across the Legion Street.
I think that's what
That's what we kind of
yeah.
discussed. I
Yeah.
was looking online.
that cross.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
that's
some money out there for IDOT for specific projects for pedestrian safety. And there was a reference point on one of the diagrams I was looking at that was on South 8th Street in Maine. But I think you could probably, depending on.
Yeah, he made it sound like wherever we applied for, would be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Legion's a place to put it myself,
Yeah.
because we've been right at the top of that bridge. And I think that's the hardest one to get out of.
Agreed.
The only thing that he did bring up to our attention just a little bit on that too, and I'm not sure that it's a huge deal, but if people do come to a stop there and you're kind of going up that incline a little bit, in the winter time, they could have a hard time getting going, but I never see a huge problem there, so. We get material on the roads and that stuff,
We have a great streets department.
we try.
Okay. Iowa League of Cities Annual Conference is coming up in September. It's in Bettendorf.
Yeah, registration's open. Aaron and I have signed up. Just wanted to put that out there for everybody else too. If anybody is interested in going, let us know, and we can get rooms reserved and everybody signed up. And
And if you can only go for one day, Thursday is really
yeah,
the best day to go, because that's the most classes, so
Mm,
if you're interested, just let me know and get you signed up.
Okay. So we'll get to our reports next, and I think I saw Sam come first for engineering updates.
A lot.
Or she,
You don't, or you have a lot? You don't have a lot, or you have a lot?
Anderson Street, pay estimate 4 will get in front of you for, this coming agenda here in item. It's meeting next Monday. Pay estimate 4, so I'll let kind of Perry cover the rest of that. Next phase of Anderson Street for the 2027 improvements project. Aaron got quite a few easements in last week, so there's only right now 4 outstanding. Windstream actually called me today, meeting with them up there to kind of review things Thursday morning. So, and then Alliant and MediaCom has been kind of coordinating back and forth with some stuff and where equipment can go, so they just kind of stuck me on some email correspondence, so that's kind of nice to see that coming through. I haven't seen any plans yet from anybody. I know Alliant's still targeting August timeframe for start of construction, but so we haven't seen any plans yet either from them to make sure that everything is going well there, and there's not gonna be any major conflicts, but Pretty much everything I have, unless there's any questions.
Is there, I've been getting hammered pretty hard on, the finish job for the, between the sidewalk and the properties, on Anderson, the first section there.
Hold on.
Like we have,
That will be delayed till we do the final.
so that won't be touched until,
They're gonna come back there and spray it, kill weeds and
okay,
start it over.
Oh, they're hydro seeded all down in there.
okay.
Well, there'll be more soil brought in, a little less rock in it,
A
hopefully.
little less rock, and then like, I know the condos right next to me there. The water's blowed out from the east trough and basically covers the street with sand, so.
It covers the sidewalk.
The sidewalk,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, it just looks bad.
It does, but we've discussed getting a long section of orange tile and running that downspout over to their driveway for now. But as soon as we shut the pumps off, some pumps are gonna start running again too, so. We're still dewatering right now, so there's no sump pumps running, so. That'll be the next thing that'll be shooting across the sidewalk, it's the sump pump.
Some of them, yeah.
Any other questions? Sam?
Interesting.
Thank you so much. All right, Jason. Oh, Anthony was here for, we'll let Anthony go first then.
In what seconds? Just a couple updates for the West Murray Street Bridge, just kind of working through the upcoming plans right now, so just. Working through that, and then for that with 13 Burlington Road, traffic study, all the data is captured out there for speed and traffic movements. So we're just working through the traffic modeling analysis right now, so. Hopefully we have something coming that, let's discuss a little bit over the next few weeks and maybe gather some meetings up pretty soon here, so. And then there, finally, for the airport project, it sounds like the permanent paint is going down tomorrow. Yep.
Yay.
And final walkthrough, I think Alexa was supposed to plan sometime next week before the airport committee meeting, so. That's about it, any questions?
Do you know off the top of your head what the average speed was down through Barrington Road area?
I don't right now, no. Yeah,
I just, out of curiosity, but.
hopefully soon I'll have it for you. Yep, it's fast.
All right, thanks, Anthony.
Yep.
Jason.
So the Grand Avenue Trail, will be July 20th, that Monday. It's the late start, it's contract to be starting. I've met with Jeannie Domeyer at the fair, to let her know that we're gonna be starting that following week, just so she was aware. The only potential issue that came up, that's been since resolved, that DOT flagged his concern over bird houses that were hanging on the fence out there. And it might be endangered species that can potentially delay the project. That has since been re-reviewed by the DOT environmental people. I took pictures of the sparrows that are on there. I went and looked at the 7 bird houses. There's no nesting eggs. There was nesting material in a handful of them. They said there's no concern. We can just continue to move forward.
Passenger pigeons.
Correct.
Okay.
So that was the only thing that came up at the 11th hour out there, but that's been resolved.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Okay,
So.
thank you, Travis. Yeah, all right. Anybody want to volunteer to go first, or we just pick on you? Tim, all right, Tim, come on.
Like documented earlier, Lincoln Buildings got started, you got all the foundations on the 16th, like down there. Henderson started on their addition. Back in their building, they. For the last, the outside, it was today. On the courthouse has. All the footings and walls poured in that, they're doing the roughing on the floor there, from the hall. I did get an email last week. That McDonald's starting date is supposed to be today, which. Going out there, so. The person that's starting that is now working at, Camp Courageous. So as soon as they get done with that little project out there, they will be at, that's.
At McDonald's, we said? Okay, heard it here.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All we got, Michigan.
So that means that it is coming.
Yes, it is.
I just wanna get that on camera. McDonald's is still coming.
Tell me where your first day would talk.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Oh, well, you don't count them before they hatch, but.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Allison, do you have anything else?
Couple more. So I've talked with Brock about this too, another issue with our building, the front step, one of them had fell in over the summer or over the winter. And so there's a portion of it that's kind of in, it's not used except for emergencies. I mean, people might walk on them, I guess, but they can't get in the building there. I have contacted a couple different people. I'm waiting to hear. The last person I talked to felt like it was a restoration project. So that's gonna be something, but it has to be done. And because it's the old part of the building, it can't just be, it can't be just that 4
Right.
foot little
Right.
piece. It has to be
The whole thing, yeah.
so I'm still working on that, trying to figure out what can be done there. Summer reading is under the way. There's only 3 more weeks. The finale is on July 25th. There's gonna be foam blasters. It's the day after RAGBRAI comes through. Kids programming is going great. We had 225 in attendance for the amphibian program that we had. It was a 4-hour kind of drop-in program. An average right now of 45 to 50 people at each story time. So it's a lot. Great news that we're fully staffed and fully trained, so we're feeling much better about that. And then today I had they're called UMA boxes. It's through T-Mobile. One is for my fax machine and one is for the elevator, so I don't have analog basically anymore. I'm in a contract with Sourcewell for that. I get $10 off basically a month of each thing going with Sourcewell. So that hopefully will be good tomorrow. I will cancel other what I used to have and we'll be moving forward. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Chief, you wanna go next?
Really the only thing we have is, gonna see some changes probably in this next fiscal year as far as the image of the PD. Spent the last 2 years, obviously rehiring staff, upgrading our equipment and technology. All those things are kind of leveling out. One of the big things right now is that upstairs used to be a dispatch room. That's gonna get a facelift here in the next month. Over the last couple of years, we've increased the amount of times that we work with the FBI, ICAC, DEA, D&E, all these outside agencies, and it's kind of embarrassing to have 10 to 15 agents come down and stand outside one guy's office and talk for an hour to evaluate a case. So we're gonna turn that into a conference training room. With the new VR technology, obviously we need the space. I don't have any of it down in our building, so we're gonna redo that facility. It's gonna be a training area and then hopefully bring some trainings to our area as well, because it kind of has the room for that. So when that's complete here in the next couple months, I'll advise everybody to check that out. Another thing that we're looking at over the next year is I've talked to a couple people. We're gonna change the sticker packages on the cars.
Oh.
I'm looking at redoing the patches as well. So we're gonna kind of revamp the entire image of the Manchester Police Department. We're gonna get in line with more of our core values for the city. Something that brings a little bit of pride for the officers to show up. So you're gonna see throughout this next year, it's kind of what I budgeted for. We've got the staff, we got the technology, they're doing the job. I'll be honest with you, I'm getting kind of bored because they're just handling things now, it's not me. So I gotta find something to do with my time. That's time that we revamp that stuff. So as those things come up, I'll let you guys know and kind of make sure I get the input that's needed for the community and obviously the people paying the bills, but that's the goal for the next couple of years, is to revamp the image a little bit more prideful, a little bit more noticeable. So other than that, it's just doing the job. You guys are doing really well. Patrolling out there, I've heard tons of stuff in the last couple of months about how often they see the squad cars now, and so I'm sure I'll go up if we get nice brightness to package on too. So
Okay.
anything else?
Okay, thanks, Chief. Jason.
Like Anthony said, they'll finish tomorrow. We'll lift the NOTAM on the airport once this is all done, get everything kind of picked up. There's probably a pretty good possibility we'll have to go back in at some point for a little bit of edging along the sides of it. Yeah, we're still trying to kind of work our way through that. But that's the big thing going on at the airport. Guys are painting like crazy. We're trying to get spruced up for RAGBRAI between all the other things going on too, so. But that's the main stuff I guess we got going on right now. next week it'll be, everybody will be in and out, it's fair and all that stuff going on, so we're trying to get as much knocked out this week as what we can.
Well, just council and to all of our streets and everybody, I can't count on fingers and toes how many thank yous we've gotten for this out here.
Yeah.
Everybody's really appreciating it.
Yeah, they did a great job.
They did a
taking it
short
all back
period of
in.
time,
There was a
too.
couple pretty
Yes.
messful days
Yeah.
out there, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, good
Yeah.
job. All right. All right, Doug, wanna go next?
Okay, a couple projects that are coming up and then one that's nearing completion. There's a small shelter that was recently constructed in between the pickleball courts and the pool in Terrell Park. That was an Eagle Scout project for Josh Sleeper. That is up, it looks great, it's really, really nice. There's gonna be some landscaping that's gonna go down yet here, probably the next week or two. Kind of pretty up that area, it's getting heavily used already by either people waiting to go in or after they're out of the pool. And in the mornings, pickleball players either waiting to play or socializing after they're done playing. So that's one that's completed for the most part. We have the Delaware County Tourism secured a grant for a selfie stand that we're gonna put down at the Whitewater Park, just below Shelley Park, looking up to the west upstream, so a place where you can go and put your phone and take a selfie with the backdrop. We're hoping to get that up by RAGBRAI. Talking with Jason, we're gonna have to, it's a little bit bigger sign than what I was expecting, so there's gonna need to be like a base that'll be welded on, we'll anchor it into the rock, so you get a good view of the Whitewater Park upstream. And then the arches at Baum Park, Wednesday, still on. If Wednesday, we're gonna start to put, we should get at least 3 of them up. And just a quick reminder of how that came about, that was Master Gardeners, Manchester Vitality Endowment, some individual donations. And we've got the water and electricity board to all those locations. XL Trailers is donating 3 of the arches, the rest is paid for by the people we just talked about. 3 of them will go up for sure right away. And then the other 3 will be shortly thereafter that as XL finishes them. And then Jason's crew will put those in and they're gonna look pretty nice. Sam Child's gonna put flowers up on top of them and then they'll be automatically watered and so we can light them up in the winter. So it's gonna look really nice. And then sand volleyball court is, hopefully we can get something started on sand volleyball court. We talked down on River Street, which would be north of the watershed. Here in the next week or two, I spoke with Eric Ogden today. He's looking to get started here in a little bit. We'll need a little bit of help from the street department, getting some sand hauled in and so on, but Eric is going to construct those. And then today, actually not today, well, somewhat today, the RAGBRAI committee had come up with an idea about an archway made out of kayaks that they had seen for a temporary kind of picture opportunity photo op down at for RAGBRAI above the Whitewater Park. Well, we kind of had some conversations about it, and I think that's a really good opportunity for us. If you go down just on the other side of the road from Textures, if you look right off the sidewalk, there is some trees that have grown up that have become really, really bushy, and they kind of block the view of the Whitewater Park. Honestly, I think that area may have gotten over-treed from the get-go when we had them, but they were all small. Now they're going up, they're kind of blocking, our best view in town. And so I would like to take a few of those smaller trees out and then make a permanent arch out of the kayaks that we have that were donated years ago when the Whitewater Park was up. So I spoke with XL Trailers again. They are going to construct a frame and then we will figure out a way to kind of take those old clay boat kayaks and attach them to it, make it a permanent area that gives us a colorful archway and a view photo op, and then you can look, it'll basically shoot right down upstream, similar to what that selfie stand is, but it'll be right off the sidewalk.
Cool.
I do have if anybody wants to see, there's a picture that somebody had that we just kind of figured it'd be a worthwhile thing to make it permanent, add some color, add some view to it. So time is not on our side if we're gonna get it done before RAGBRAI, but we can pull it on open. And then going back to the scooter e-bike ordinance real quick, I'm in the process of getting some signs made that we're gonna not allow electric scooters on the skate park. Had a few parents complain about electric scooters going a little too fast around the young kids. And I've also had some electric scooters that are doing burnouts and leaving marks and drawings on the skate park. So we repainted a couple of the ramps at the skate park. I'm gonna put the signs up. I'm sure there's some kids that are utilizing them okay, and then there's plenty that are not. And I've had conversations with a lot of the kids that they are kind of under surveillance, so to speak, around town in general, in the parks, on you know, everywhere that is, they're becoming a problem. So I just want to let you know that we're seeing that too, and we're gonna kind of put a little bit of a stop to the electric scooter thing, at least on that end. And the pool has been back to being busy again. Now we started week 5 of 8 swimming lessons. We had that real cold stretch, which was not all that great for early morning swimming lessons, but now we're back to sweating instead of freezing and shivering. We also have a new problem now this year with the pool, is that we have to drain water out of the pool because we're not leaking. Drained water 3 times in the last 2 weeks with all that rain we got. We didn't drain the pool 3 times in the last, I don't know how many years, so I actually removed water out of it, so good problem to have. And our chemical usage is definitely down. Okay. And then one last thing is, I spoke with a gentleman today who is looking to bring his band up, Marty Colbert, you know him, he's a friend of the Whitewater Park and an all-around great guy. He wants to bring his band up to Terrell Park. He was gonna do it as kind of just I want to bring my band up and play for some friends, but I think we'll try to make it an event in Terrell Park at the band shell. And that would be August 22nd, so just so you guys are on, we'll start to promote that. When it was just a conversation I had this morning with him. I think it'd be a great thing for the community and the park. Like I said, he's a great guy, and there'll be a respectful band, and it'll be a good time, so. August 22nd, it's a Saturday, the band show.
Okay.
5 to 8 o'clock or something.
5 to 8.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about camera, that we're looking at camera options for some?
Well, so the Central Park cameras, I talked with Ben about it a little bit too, and I spoke with ITS. The price tag was pretty high. It was $16,000 to get 2 cameras at Central Park. The deadline had passed for them to get onto the old contract, of where it would be, about somewhere between 10 to 20% less than what it will be now. I don't know, I personally, I think that the price tag is a little bit high, so.
We did find that there is ComLight
Internet.
available with us.
So the one thing, and I was unsure, Ben had the initial conversations with him, and I was unsure, I think maybe there was miscommunication, at least on my end, is that price is assuming that we will have Wi-Fi there.
Oh.
So it doesn't change it a whole lot, and I didn't realize, I thought that was the data plan.
Yeah.
So it doesn't change it a whole lot, so I told him, we'll put you on hold for now, and if we can solve the problem by catching somebody or having them grow up and figure it out, or whatever it is. If not, then we'll reconsider at that point in time. Also with the potential maybe project down the road of redoing the basketball court in that area, maybe we could put something in on that where we already have power there and can mount it a little bit easier and I would love to have them, but I also know that 16,000 for 2 cameras is a hefty price, so.
But just to bring the council up to date, it's been heavy vandalism.
This year's been a bad year.
That's Central Park.
You gotta remember, like, it seems like every 2 or 3 years we have a stretch.
Right.
We're in the middle of one of those stretches right now. We had a couple fires. We had, some real neat graffiti. We had the scooter issue. We had a fight. We had some bathroom issues.
Do you know about approximately what time this happened?
Well, it's happening before the doors lock. So the doors were locking, about 10 o'clock. When in the middle of summer, when it gets dark, 9:30, 9:45. So we changed that, we moved it up. They're locking earlier now. I don't know what time it is. It's happening sometime between probably noon and dark. I don't know who it is. There's plenty of groups that go down there. It's usually that 12 to 15-year-old age range that doesn't have a license and just likes to cause trouble, but we'll figure it out one way or another. Nothing's been terrible yet, but it's definitely been a pain. And potentially could have been terrible with fires. So we had a garbage can burn and an attempted toilet paper dispenser fire as well. So we'll keep it on, and Ben's been on it, his crew is aware of it, and they've been increasing patrols, and so I drive by a lot and talking to the kids, and I've been hitting the scooter gang a little bit, trying to let them know we're out there watching, so.
Want to talk about that? Yeah, we should, go ahead. So the overflow pipe down at Terrell, JJ, he just showed me a picture of it today. Evidently, it's got another bad spot in it now. I'm gonna go down and take a look at it tomorrow. We're gonna try to Band-Aid this thing up somehow, but just so it's on everybody's radar. I know we've been talking about this for years, but
After he showed me that videos, you think the epoxy guy did epoxy the inside of that? We'll be draining water out of that water. I don't know, it's probably too big of a crack or too weird of an angle or whatever, but
When we go to fix it, we got a plan though, right?
I mean, it's gonna,
there is a potential plan.
yeah,
But
yes,
whether or not that's,
in the cards,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's not gonna get any better, that's for sure.
No, it's not definitely on borrowed time where it's at, so. But
The
I'll
high
let
water-
her update for you the next.
Last few high waters are not doing it any good either.
Yeah.
No, probably not. Okay. Any other questions for Don? All right, thank you. Check.
Well, things been pretty good in the water department, not pumping very much water. On the well side, well 6 is, it's not our oldest nitrate removal plant, but we're starting to see some equipment starting to show its age up there. So we're gonna start seeing some bills here and there come across as I start sourcing parts for it. It's just little knick-knacky stuff, but those little knick-knacky stuff is kind of expensive. So just be aware of whichever one you guys are looking at the bills, see those, that's what it's for.
Okay,
Other than that, we've just been working on meters and spinning valves and keep up with all the phone calls. Helping out Perry on the street project when water springs out of the ground and
yeah.
that kind of thing. So that's what's been keeping us busy.
Any questions for Chad? All right, thank you. Perry?
Oh,
We saved the best for last.
Yeah, wastewater stuff, nothing major going on. It is E. coli month. I will let you know in another 30 days how that went. Hopefully well. Still working with a vendor on finding a new baffle for clarifier number 1 that we've been working on for the last 9 months, I think. It take forever. But went with a different option of actually completely replacing them because it's less than half the money to have something to hang over the old ones too. So we're working on that. Flows have been a little high the last 30 days with
Rain.
12, 14 inches of rain, whatever we got in the last month and a half. So one little issue at the north town lift station up by the North End Funeral Home with a pump plugging up in the midst of the higher flows. And we'll get that taken care of. Nothing major. The other pump handled it all well. So on to street projects. Anderson Street, water and sewer are all in with including the services. Tomorrow morning starts the tie-in from new to old existing. We'll do both east and west side of Butler. Wednesday morning, we will do Howard Street tie-in. Thursday morning, we will do the north end tie-in to take this thing about Union Street. So that will all be done. We'll do those in the morning, and then we'll go back and work on some storm sewer stuff in the afternoons. And hopefully get that up past Howard Street by towards the end of the week. Plan is to start rocking that road next week. The original plan was to pave the week of the fair. I think that might be pushing it just a hair, but we will see what the weather does. Just gonna warn you now that from Butler to Union, the soil has changed a whole bunch. There'll probably be a lot more core out. We do have some pricing for some geogrid if we need it, so we'll see. I mean,
Is that because of all the rain?
well, that and this, we went from pure
Well,
sand,
right,
in front of the condos, we hit a big two units wide, north to south of a bunch of sugar sand. That was wet from top to bottom, and then north of Howard, it turned to black from top to bottom, so it sold a ton of moisture. And they can hardly drive their equipment on it, let alone build a road on it, so.
Wow, okay.
And right now it's taking all the water from Prospect Street, running into us every time it rains, so. We will address that. I'll probably have Sam out there with me a couple days while we're doing core outs, just to help with proof rolling and making sure we're taking enough. I know we were specking a foot of macadam underneath the road rock, but probably. But yeah, if we. You know, more probably be
Okay.
all over that. Oakview, I think is on permanent rain delay.
Yeah.
The streets are pretty close, all the underground's down there, some drain needs to still go in yet. They're still looking for a bunch of dirt to. Yeah, our on-site borrow is not suitable materials for personal. For areas, but. Just waiting for the call from them to see how we proceed on that. Get forward to those, that's right now, and see, yeah. Touch a little bit on Iowa one call right now, cause it's crazy. Windstream is. I think they have half the town located right now. It pretty much wrapped up the trailer court, Quaker Mill area, I believe. They've now moved into Krogman's. Their last locates starts them at heading down Bailey Drive. So there's flags and stuff all over. If people have any concerns, you can give them my number, but some of them have been called in 3 times, so you know, about the time you can pull the flags, they're getting new flags, and it's. Then we're averaging close to 200 locates a month. And a normal average about 80, so.
Oh,
It's crazy busy right now, so. I'm sure that will come with several complaints about
is that some,
speeds not getting down fast enough. You know.
yeah,
It's all part of it.
it's that part of, cause didn't they get bought out by somebody different too? Is that part, are they changing equipment? Is that what they're
I
doing?
believe they're going to fiber on there.
Is that what they're doing? Yeah,
Comline?
no.
Waste districts, units. Oh, actually, waste them down. They're just getting a few services now.
Unity,
So,
yeah, Unity, I think is what it's called.
I have seen that on one.
Yeah.
It comes in with a
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
background.
I know some people don't like the new units they're putting up because they're larger and see them, but it is what it
Yeah.
is, so can't.
But there'll be
Yeah.
a lot of yard work that needs to get
Yeah.
finished up, and I don't know how that goes if people want their grass growing tomorrow.
Just because it was all over Facebook when it was happening, and we were getting all that rain, the flooding that still happens down here on Butler and Madison. The big, I mean, it's just until we can address that, and it's,
That's the start of phase 1 of the bridge.
Yep.
So
yep, so I've
that's
been
a
trying to tell
long-term-
people, but just so they hear it here.
long-term, Several projects to get
Yes,
to
a
that point, but.
lot of things have to be in place to make that happen.
It's a good thing about that water is that it goes down quickly.
It does go down
Yes.
quickly, that is
The
true.
things that we've been getting, it's just not there. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah, we have,
Gay Street's got it.
Everybody's got it.
yeah.
Quaker
Trailer
Ford have it.
Yeah.
But then.
We live in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
We live in a fishbowl, and it's kind of how it is, so. But all right, thanks, Perry. Did anybody have any other questions for Perry? No?
Jet back to update.
You're really cheap.
That's your.
Really cheap.
Maybe next week, all I know.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
It's supposed to be what, less than 150,000?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Okay, Aaron, did you have anything?
Just a quick update on our phone system.
Yeah.
NEC has gone out of business. They're no longer, so our phones are no longer supported. So you basically operate until you can't anymore. So we have been talking with Access Systems, who handles all of our like network and IT stuff about different phone systems. So we are still gathering information and we'll be bringing that back to the council. Technology's come a long way since we got the phones that we have. That's all I had.
Brad?
Not much else to add. Had a nice tour in Henderson's today. We took their development agreement out there to be signed. They're kind of down this week, so I could probably hear a little better than maybe I would on a normal tour out there, but it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
All that they do out there was really neat, so.
Awesome. Okay. Ryan,
The only thing I had was, I had quite a few calls on, on the airport meeting or on the airport report. It wasn't listed that, we lost our NIPIAS, status, I guess. We lost that for 2026 and 27. Can we apply in 28, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't on the airport report, but it's on the video, so.
It
I
was
can-
in minutes.
Oh,
Okay, I'll have Laura
Yeah.
review those.
So we did talk about it, cause yeah, Alexa talked about,
cause it's it's like it's
It's just lack of planes, right?
Yeah, it's a-
10 planes.
the
Yeah.
base aircraft.
yeah.
If we, we talked about that Walters project, if that comes through, that should get us there.
Give us
Yeah.
over the 10 and then we can reapply in.
Yeah.
28.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the funding for this project still comes through that, so that is all
Oh,
this
yeah,
project, so.
that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been a bad deal.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And the way she basically explained it is like, that's good, they kind of put you in like a. It's almost like a probationary period is what we're in right now till we can get back up to 10, so that's.
Well,
Hopefully we can just get past that.
with that project we got coming, if it pans out and everything, that'll put us at 11, so. That should get us back out of the.
Well, it should get us up to where we
Right.
really should have been.
Yeah.
The count too is when they pulled the count this year, yes, we were still under. But one of the planes was in Fort Myers, Florida,
oh,
and so that when they do their count, Fort Myers got credit for that plane that. and he
What's
owns
physically
that-
here.
It's physically here, he owns a hangar out here, but it just happened to be at Fort Myers. For his winter time, so this whole thing is, and it's all new to me, but we're making sure that we're up to date on putting these in there. Brock and I are definitely gonna have to work our way through that, so we keep that thing up to date with,
With the NIPIAS.
with the NIPIAS, because, yeah, it showed we were actually at 7, which we have 8 now. But it showed 7 on our actual report, just because that plane got counted in Fort Myers, it's actually,
But my understanding is to be NIPIAS, you have to be 10.
10,
Yes.
yes, yep,
That's what I mean, that's where the threshold is and we.
Yeah.
You know,
We've never
hopefully,
met that.
yeah, hopefully we can get another project come around where we can get more planes yet, get us a little bit
yeah.
further north of
Right.
10 and we can have.
Not having to worry about it.
having some teen hangers would be helpful, so, yeah,
But you gotta have a place to put them, that's for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
We're working on a pretty good plan out there right now with Alexa, with, getting things lined up for. Hopefully this other project and.
Anything else, Brian?
No, that's
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Oh, just-
Oh,
Great job on
Yeah,
the street
Went well.
out here. Went really well.
Yeah.
It looks great.
yeah,
dang, okay, Marianne?
Well, I was disappointed about the drone show,
Yeah.
4th of July, but,
Connie cried a lot.
Sure. But other than that, hey, it's still gonna happen, we're just gonna do it later.
Yep, we're working on a date and we got a good plan in place and just waiting for the last confirmation. We'll be announcing then.
We'll get it.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. Joe,
I'm getting a lot of feedback on the grass clippings in the street. And it's getting to the point where I have had a conversation with Brock about this. I personally feel that we need to start finding people. 3 of them down my road, Brewer Street was pretty bad this weekend. Again, just to name a few. The cemetery, Oakland Cemetery is now blowing grass clippings into the road on, is that Styles that goes in front of the? Acres, my bad, sorry. Acres had some grass clippings on it. I'm tired of getting phone calls and emails and text messages about it. I just think that we need to get a little harder on this and get it cleaned up and get done, just get it over with, so to say. I did get the golf cart, petition signed, I can pass that around. There's 32 signatures on that, just to kind of let everybody look at it and chew on it. And then, over the 4th of July evening, Officer Peyton Clark's name had been brought up to me multiple times. Lots of good compliments for him, and I just want to give him a shout out. Some of the comments that were made about him is that's the kind of officer we want to be in Chester. So I figured that was something that we should put on camera. He did get called to my place for fireworks, and he was very easy to work with, so I appreciate it.
Anything else, Twin?
That is it.
Okay. Again, thank you to everybody who helped make the drone show happen. Number one, it was very successful. We hit our goal to make the show happen. Just unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans. And Mandy did a good job in telling us that we should probably pull the plug that day. We got a lot of rain that night. Unfortunately, she played havoc with me on Saturday because we thought it was gonna be one thing and the sun came out when it was, but it was so wet up at the park. It was not a good place to have everybody running around, but we were able to still have the yoga. They had 12 people doing yoga that morning up there. I went back and then they had, I believe Bergen told me 15 or 16 for water, new ones even.
Yeah.
And then, the family swim was starting to fill. How many did you end up with? That's good.
It was good.
It was a good thing. So those all.
Spectacular weather.
Yeah, so, but we didn't want being instruments getting wet and Aaron's equipment getting wet either, so it was just better to be done. So we're figuring out how we can redo something with that, and I hope by the end of the week I have a new date that I can announce for the drone show. So again, thank you everybody for that, and everybody who helped me make pinwheels and go door to door looking for money and all that other fun stuff. So thank you so much. Anything else from anybody?
No, thanks to you and everybody involved on that, the drone thing, even though it didn't happen, just putting all that work into it.
It's coming.
So I'm excited to see when we get it.
It'll be nice when we get it out there. So anyway, with that, I will take a motion from Joe, a second from Mary Ann, that we are adjourned, and we are adjourned. You guys all have a good week. Thanks so much.
Chad, you got a quick second?